Hello there and welcome to the new Tableau dashboard tutorial video where I will show you how you can create a simple yet visually appealing dashboard for HR related information, which is human resource related information. So if you have seen my previous video yesterday, I showed you the similar but a little bit different type of a layout for the finance dashboard, and the link is present in description if you want to go through that. And today I am showing you how you can create this HR dashboard, which is talking about the KPIs, the attrition, what is the average attrition that has happened, who are these number of current employees by, let's say, their education in our company, and then total employees by salary. So top 10 employees by salary, right? So that is something what I'm showing you, or I will show you. So yesterday or in this previous video, which was for the finance, I gave you the overview where I showed you at a high level like how you will going to create, for example, if you need to create a KPI like this, I showed simply you can create it, but I got some input that you want to learn step by step, right? Because creating KPIs and everything is comparatively straightforward, but when it comes to dashboard and putting the components like in a proper structure, which currently is putting it over here, is slightly advanced, what I would say. And that's where I think some of you had the struggle and emailed me about your struggle. So I thought I'll create this video where I will show you step by step how you can do that, all of this addition of objects, containers and stuff like that. Well, if you don't like containers, then your journey is comparatively easy. Use floating rather than tiled, right? So with that, before I move ahead and show you how you can create it, I want to also show that this is the tutorial which I create for beginners so that you can learn. But if you are planning to learn some advanced dashboards, then I conduct my training where on the similar data, I show or I explain how you can create a dashboard like this, which is advanced in nature. As you can see, a lot of layout related thing plus the functionality, like you want to show both active and attrition employee, or if you click over here, you only want to show attrition, right? And down below, component specific visualization also down below over here, week, month, quarter, year, and then what is a survey score, what is a recent attrition, all of these, which basically requires a lot of work and visually appealing, is something what I show in my training. So this dashboard originally created by one of the Tableau Zen master, I think Pradeep Kumar, which I am adopting in my training because it shows how you can get a hold on some of the advanced functionalities and advanced visualizations, right? Which I show in my training as step by step how you can complete it. So if you are moving from beginner to advanced and looking for training, then if you can join my training. For that, you can email me based on the email displayed here. All right, with that, coming back to our dashboard, which is for the beginners, but I would say relatively advanced when it comes to how you display your components over here in the dashboard. Okay, so couple of things that is going here over here is number of employees, average salary, average employee age, and average salary percentage hike. So all of that is relatively straightforward. If I show you, so you have number of employees, right? So number of employees is nothing but I am taking the count of employees. So when you bring the employee over here, the employee number field over here on the text, what you probably will going to get a different number, because you need to make sure you say attrition equals to no. So once you have attrition, this field over here, edit filter, no indicates that they are active employee. So currently how many employees you have? 1233. Okay, so let me show you one and then you can create it. So for example, I said employee number, you bring it on text. I am dragging the field simply, as you can see. right? All of the employees are coming. What you need to do is come over here in the measure, simply say count. So the count is coming right now, right? And then what you need is the attrition field over here. Like I said, drag it over there and say no, click OK. What you get as a number 1233. After that, what you do is you come over here and say entire view. The number is now appearing over here, but you can come over here in the text. In there you see the alignment as center and you get 1233, right? After that, what we are doing is we are saying number of employees, right? So over here in sheet, new sheet, we go into the text, we come over here and we say number of employees, right? And number of employees, let's say we make it what, Tableau regular, maybe slightly lighter color of shade. However, this one will be little bit bigger, maybe 18, bold, and apply, right? So number of employees, so 1233, similar to 1233 here. I think the font is little small what I've chosen, so you can check it over here. So this is 14. Also, this particular workbook is present, this Tableau packaged workbook is present in the description. The link for this is present in the description, and let me show you where it is present. Okay, so when you click the link that is present in the description, it basically takes to my Google group where all of my where I keep all of you like as a members, and it has the link for my data sets, right? So once you join the group, you have the data sets as a field, the data set as a link. In there, what you have is the Tableau dashboard templates, right? So in the Tableau dashboard template folder, what you get is the finance dashboard that I have posted on Jan 24th, right? So similarly, I will be posting this HR dashboard, right? And that will be coming more like a second dashboard. You can come over here and you can download it from here. Okay, so that's the way you need to do. From that link, once you join it, you get the link for the data sets, and then you can download this workbook. Okay, so with that, we have seen that once you have created it, right, with the same formatting, I have shown you same configuration how you would do this. You will not going to create a new sheet from here, but you will going to right click and say duplicate, because you want to preserve all the formatting. And then what you need to do is you just need to make sure that attrition is no, and then monthly income, right? So which is nothing but average salary. So what you bring is the monthly income from here and replace the current field, which is this. Just drag it on top of this and it will be replaced for you with the monthly salary. And then you need to go into the text, rather than number of employees, say average salary. That's it. So this is Tableau regular 9, this is Tableau bold 14, and there is a space in between that. So you can hit enter and this will create little bit of space for easy reading. And then you duplicate this for average age, replace the current field by dragging the age on average and make sure average is coming from here. By default it comes with some, so average year. However, you may be having a different number, but what I'm getting is 38 years average employee age. So what I did is coming over here, I simply said average employee age, and then after average age field what I added was the years text. That way it looks relevant. So that shows based on whatever we are selecting in our dashboard, the average employee age based on that selection will show. Right now it's probably everything or entire data. So 38 years is what we are getting as an average. Similarly, once you duplicate the sheet, average percentage hike, salary hike is present over here, percent salary hike, right? 15.23 is what we are getting. Also, if you are not getting the percentage, similar way, you need to come over here and say percentage. If you try to format this field as a percentage, what you will going to get is 1523%, because already the monthly hike is coming as the percent value over there. So we just need to add percent, which we can add it via the text, right? So you will have your 4 basically visualize 4 KPIs. And after that, what we need is the attrition, how the attrition is happening over these quarters, right? So it's starting from 2021 Q2, Q3, Q4, then 22 Q1 and Q2. So it's 5 quarters worth of attrition, where clearly in Q1 attrition was highest. Okay, so how will you start? You will create a new field and you will bring the attrition and say yes, right? Once you say yes, it will only display the attrition related values. And then what we need to bring is count of employees, right? So over here, employee number is the field what we have taken, and we have taken it as a count. If it is coming as the discrete or dimension, make sure the continuous is placed. So you need to create two fields, or you need to duplicate by holding down your control key and drag it on the right. We'll going to create two fields. Or what I can do is I can show you from the scratch, right? So over here, what first thing is what I'm bringing is attrition. Yes. So we need attrition, right? These two are coming because I already did. Since I have already created this dashboard where this gender and department is present for entire data. That's why these two fields are coming, and which I'll show you how you can do that once I create the dashboard. Okay, so we have this. Then attrition, we have said yes. Employee number is something what we are getting it as measure and count, right? And then what we need is the attrition date. And over here from the attrition date, we will choose this, not this quarter, which is a discrete, but this is a continuous quarter that shows Q2, Q3, Q4, Q1, and Q2, right? So we have this line. And then what we will going to bring is another line. Like I said, hold down your control key or command key and drag the existing field or drag this field on the right. It will create a duplicate. Now for second field, what we will going to do is we will going to create the area. The color will be what? Red, right? And over here, the color will be what? Dark red, right? To get that effect. And then what we're going to do is coming over here, second field, and say dual axis, right? We'll make sure we right click over here and say synchronize axis. We right click again and we uncheck the show header, right? And then we need to add the average line. So average line is present over here. This is the average line. We will bring it on to the table. This is the average, right? So the way we can do it, we can right click over here and say edit, and over here count of employees number, and we are taking average based on the entire table. Label, nothing is displayed, but what we will going to do is we'll say custom average attrition count is coming over here and say value and click OK. 47.4. Now 0.4 does not make sense, so what you can do is right click and say format. Over here you have the numbers, and then what we can do is from the number we can say 0. So 47. Attrition, the spelling is wrong, so what I'm going is going over there, attrition, right? Also over here, if you see, I am using this dotted line. So the way you can do that is you can right click over here, go to the edit and formatting. You can choose this and maybe this and click OK, which will give the similar effect, if you see, right? So that way you have your the attrition employee. Now for the new chart, also there is one thing, attrition as a title, right? Which is by default what we get is the sheet 10. So the way you need to do this is double click over there, say remove whatever is coming and write attrition, and there needs to be one space. This is just so that it's a good look and feel. That's it, right? It looks good comparatively like a normal text. So you have capital Tableau regular 10, and color is what I have chosen is this one, and you will going to get the attrition value like this. Similarly for number of employees by education, right? What you have is again you have the education field. First of all, attrition, you need to say no. If you see, this is basically indicating that we are removing the attrition value. That means it's the current employees, because for current employee we may want to see, right? However, it's a different thing if you want to see for the attrition employees, like what are those employees by education that are going from company, right? So for that, what we are bringing is education onto the rows. That's number 2 step after attrition. And then same thing, count of employee number is what we are bringing to get the count. Now, once we have this as a bar chart, right, like this, once you have this in row and columns like this, you will get a bar chart like this. You need to make sure the color that you are choosing is this one for the bars, right? And once you have this, you need to make sure labels are enabled and alignment is left. That way you will going to get this number. Also for this text, right, what I'm using is Tableau book both, and that is why we are getting this output, and this needs to be entire view, right? Also over here you will be getting the title, so right click, edit access, and you remove the title from here, and that way you are going to find the all the visualization like this. Very straightforward bar chart, nothing fancy which is going here. And finally what we are having is not this one but this one. What we are having is for the current employees, right? We are getting the employee number, gender and role, employee number, gender and role. So this is nothing but top employees by salary, and then sum of monthly salary, right, which is this one. So what we are doing is we are first of all sorting, as you can see in the employee number. If you click on sort, this is like a nested, you have by monthly income, okay? And then in the employee number, if you go into the edit filter, you have the top 10 monthly income by sum, right? So based on these values that we are having, we will going to get the top 10 values. And then it's nothing but the formatting. If you see, you right click over here and you choose to go into the format. In the field label, the shading for corner is gray, right, which is this gray, and even for columns this is this. So that's how we get it. And then with the help of this width up and down, I just increased the width, right? So that's how I'm getting this sheet. Now finally it all comes down to how we will going to create the dashboard. That's where I will show you everything from the scratch as to how you can do that, right? So what I'll do is I'll bring the new dashboard, the dashboard 2, right? So what do we have is this text and these values over here, and then what do we have is these KPIs, right? And then this value, and then finally we have the values over here. So what do we need to do? There are multiple ways in which we can basically do this. So the way we are going to do that is I will choose first of all the vertical layout, right? And in the vertical layout, what I need is the horizontal one, right? The reason for this is I have these boxes which I need, and then I have these 1 and 2 section which I need to create. So what I'm bringing is one more horizontal, maybe over here at the top. So that way it will be like a the box which is getting created. Now in that, first of all, let me bring in the text. Text is HR dashboard. Now what we will do is we will change this maybe to 22, Tableau bold, right? And color we will choose is a little bit darker, HR, some more spacing, so that it will look better. So we have HR dashboard. I will squeeze up the space, right? And then over here I will bring the filters, but after bringing the visualization. So in this dashboard, what is this is a horizontal section, and in that what we need is basically one section for KPIs, another section for attrition, and then section for this and this, right? So what I will bring in is the vertical layout, right? And then one more vertical layout. Let me try to bring it over here. So we have two vertical layouts, right? And now what I can do is in this vertical layout I need side by side. So what I need is over here is basically a section which will going to take up the space for horizontal, and then there is number of employees which I will bring it down over here. So you can see this is slowly coming along, and what we need is the in that what we need is basically if I show you over here horizontal, right? Within that we need basically the object for multiple horizontal for each KPI, because there are multiple objects which are going over there. Okay, so what do we need is one horizontal. Then what I bring is maybe over here let's see second, let's see third, first, second, third, and what we need is maybe the fourth, third, fourth. We just need to make sure the width and everything is fine, which we can take it from here and convert it as we need. You know, as you can see, I'm just correcting it a little bit, so it's start getting some shape. Okay, so we have these boxes in which we can start putting the values. So number of employees, average salary, average age, and average percentage hike. So I right click and hide the title, right click, hide the title, right click, hide the title, and right click, hide the title. At least that is coming along, right? Now we have second container which is over here. So what do we need is basically a bar chart like this and a value like this, and we have what we need, right? Slowly coming around like this, right? So we have this. Now what we need to do is we just need to make sure I double click here, which is basically selecting the entire component. If I double click here, it's also selecting the entire component. So let me just come here. We have horizontal here, horizontal over here. Okay, so this is where you know, bit of a trick will come. So we have this entire object. Let me choose the color, which is, I believe, this one, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and I'll just bring it down like this. For this, the color is white, so I've selected the HR dashboard. The color will be white, so this is white, right? Over here we have these employees, we have this sorry, we have these objects. Now the thing is, we need to bring in the image object. I'll bring the image object and put it over here. It will ask me to bring the image, which is a number of employees. So I choose the icons, people, and click OK, and then bring it up until here, maybe. Yeah, right. If we want entire thing to be white, we just click it over here, background, and make it white, right? And over here you can see some break is coming, but in my case no break is coming, right? What I earlier created. So the reason for this is, if I select this, what I need to do is I need to remove this outer padding completely. Similarly over here I need to remove the complete outer padding. That way it will give you the view that it is a one object, right? So the same setting you need to do. You need to remove the padding for rest of the one. That is an exercise you need to do. So we have the image for this, and over here I think this was average salary if I'm not. So fit image, center image. So for salary, let's pick up the $sign, click OK, bring it up, right, or little bit down if this is not giving you the expected output. Okay, again same thing, select this, change the white, and then you need to repeat the same steps for reducing this breakage. If you like the breakage, that's a different thing. If you don't like, then you know how to do that. And similarly, employee average employee age, again you need to bring in like this, fit center image, choose image. Let me just pick up something, maybe the calculator, right, and let's bring it up furthermore. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so we have this. We will change the white color and remove the padding, and then finally over here, average salary hike, we will going to bring it up, choose and average salary hike, I don't know, maybe I'll choose this. Let's just say that, right? So once you do your exercise of what I did over here of removing the padding and background color, it will start appearing, right? And then what we need to do is we just need to make sure the for all of this, right, for all these components which are out here, even for this, or the one we have selected, if I select this, it basically selects everything. So what do we need to do is we need to just make sure the padding is coming properly, right? So the way we need to do that is I select this, double select this, and for padding, let's say outer padding, we need to choose the 10 for the entire object. Similarly for this outer padding, we need to choose 10. We just need to make sure this is for all entire object. So you double click again, the object is coming, and 10, right? Similarly, once you double click and do the outer padding, choose 10, right? And double click to make sure entire object is selected, and 10, right? Similarly for this, not 4 but 10. Similarly for this, not 4 but 10. Similarly for this, not 4 but 10, right? Over here for this component, just make sure it is all white. Even for this, just make sure it's all white. For this, just make sure it's all white. And we have something which is very similar. Once you do the exercise for this, similar to this one, we have something which is very similar or very same as to how I created this dashboard. So that's the main thing I wanted to show you, how difficult it is or a little bit challenging. I know I did it very fast, and there are a couple of other ways which I teach, some tips and tricks which I also teach in my training as to how to get a better and more control over all of these components so that they should work the way you want it or the way you have designed your layout, let's say on the blank paper or somewhere, and then you can do this. Now I think the last thing what we need is over here the components. So over here in the filters, what do we need is filters over here, which will be what do we have, the department, right? And what do we have is the gender over here. So once we have this gender and all, we just need to make sure that this is something we are arranging it. So what we are doing is we are bringing it over here and dragging it like I'm doing it over here. Okay, similarly over here I am dragging it where? Over here. Yep. And then we are choosing the multiple values drop down. I'm choosing multiple values drop down, right? So we have this. If I double click in the layout, I just make sure that it's all white. Now it looks like it is part of the one object. So that's what I have for you as to how you can create. You can see within 30 minutes we have created it, but to reach to this 30 minutes you have to do a lot of exercises or a lot of repetition, right? So make sure you do that. Make sure you take some other data set and apply on that and try to create a similar one, because the more you will exercise, the better you will become. For me, this all has come, or something this clean as a layout usually take, to create the layout, it takes time, because it's not like you have everything in front of you, but this is like it starts with a blank paper, what KPIs you want, how does it should display on your page, what analytics you need, and then you bring it over here. So that's like an iterative process, but you should not face any problem in creating the visualization and making it visually appealing for your end user. With that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll meet you in the next video with some new topic.